How did you deal with being touted the next big name in the sport? One of the most recognisable names now in the sport. How do you deal with that?
Well, at first it was difficult just because as a kid, you don't really understand the magnitude of it for a while. I remember watching a press release come out when I was probably 8, 9, and I just won like a 50 title at Loretta's or something, and they're all McGrath, Carmichael, Stewart, Villapoto, Cianciarulo, question mark, and it's just like, man, like, I'm 9 years old, I'm headed back to 5th grade when I get back from Loretta's, it's like, it's crazy.
Of the 85 711 stock, it's Adam Cianciarulo.
It seems like the public's always kind of had that expectation, and in a way you can look at it and say, it's not justified, and a lot of it's a little excessive. That's really calling out the future, and I'm not. I want to be my own person. I don't want to be Carmichael. I don't want to be McGrath. All those guys are great, but I want to be my own person and known for doing my thing. But I think for me dealing with it, it was blocking it out, and at the same time, when I didn't live up to the expectations of other people, it was using what people said as motivation. You got to turn it into a positive somehow, and that's the way I did it for sure. Now, it doesn't really bother me. They can call me the next Ricky Carmichael, next McGrath, or they can call me the garbage guy that's about to, take out the trash, but I don't care. I just want to win races.
When you were a kid, you've seen how enthusiastic you were and you just wanted to get on a bike and ride, but these days, really, what is it that you love most about a dirt bike?
I think it's being alone out there on your own. I think we have so much stuff, and especially as you get older, I think you can appreciate it more because you have so much going on. There's so many other things to deal with besides just riding. You look back at the days you were a kid and you still have that same mindset when you go on the motorcycle. You're still just trying to get better. You're still trying to do these little things. You're still turning, you're still jumping. All that takes you back to where you started and why you started. And every time you get on the bike, it's the same thing. You don't have to worry about, sponsored deals or being ready for this, being ready for that, or shoulder injuries or anything. When you're on the bike, you're just trying to be the fastest you can, and you're always reaching for a goal when you're on the bike. And I think it all reminds us of when we first started.
And saying that, for the kids out there, one thing they should practice when they go out and ride, is it jumping, cornering? What's the most important thing you think?
I think for me it was always cornering. I remember we had a piece of property when I was probably 7, 8, and it was just a corner track. That's where you get your fundamentals down, and I think that's where the majority of the time it's made up today. It seems like if you're talented enough to become a pro and to get to the top level of our sport, everybody's going to do the jumps eventually. You go to a track now and everybody has the track down in 3 laps. We have 2 10-minute practice sessions basically before we race, and people are hitting the triples on the first lap. So that's just something you get down over time and as you get more comfortable. But I think corners are a good starting point.
So Ed, thank you very much for taking the time out, mate. I've seen you as a little kid, as I said before, and to now you've grown into a true professional, mate. You've got a long future ahead of you, so thanks again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate it, man.